mattered, but the defense in the fourth quarter, what did you see? Was there anything about tonight's game that kind of impressed you about the way that the fourth quarter went?
We did a really good job executing. In the fourth quarter, we made a couple of adjustments just in terms of some off-ball stuff, and then we went to 15. Really just wanted to, 1 through 5, I just really wanted to have bodies in front, and they had hurt us on the glass earlier in the game and just really felt like that was the right defense at the time. To me, like, it was one of those games, I told the group this at halftime, we were playing well enough and hard enough to be up at halftime. Shot 3 for 17 in the first half. There were 3 to 4 plays that were just kind of wonky plays, just kind of like somebody went brain dead for 5 seconds, didn't do the coverage correctly, which is our base coverage, and Trey Murphy gets a back cut. And there's a couple other plays where, it just then there ended up being a number of those plays in the second half, but we kept playing. We kept playing hard enough, and we kept together. And then I think just you look at the game, it's Dalton's charge, Luka's charge, Bo and Wex doing a great job with the challenges tonight, saved us potentially 6 points with the Trey Murphy 3 and the Derek Queen charge, which I was going to challenge it anyways because I had the angle. It was obvious that it was a charge. But those guys did a great job. And those, it doesn't always happen this way in basketball, but it's not like football where 1 or 2 plays can swing a game. Really felt like in the first half, those plays went against us. In the second half, those plays went in our favor.
How good was LeBron? And I'm thinking partly about the start of that fourth quarter, but obviously it wasn't just that. He had a pretty complete game.
No, he was awesome tonight. Just kind of took over to start the fourth and got us, that group got us the lead back. I love what's happening right now with, Luka and LeBron and that partnership, whether it's pick and roll with each other. We ran stack against their blitz. Jackson gets a layup. Luka kind of tells LeBron back cut next time. He gets the lob on the very next play. There's some real synergy happening right now, and it's fun to watch.
We knew that LeBron didn't have a ton of reps in the offseason because of his sciatica, and then no training camp, no preseason, missed 14 games to begin the year. Did you ever wonder, like, I might not have that version of LeBron this season and have to kind of be prepared to coach a different version of him? And if you did wonder it, is what you've seen from the last 10 games or so making you maybe recalculate things?
No, not recalculating. Because I know LeBron and I know how much he puts into this. I think it's just recognizing game to game what he has. He's Greg Maddux at the end of his career. Every night he doesn't have his best stuff, but he has enough to win. And you just got to, I'm his catcher. I've figured out, how to call the pitches. Sometimes he tells me to F off and he calls his own pitch, which is fine too. But it really is, to me, it's that. It's like, what's the best way to kind of utilize him tonight based on the opponent, based on the coverage, based on how he's moving. We have conversations sometimes in games. How's your 3-ball feel? Okay. All right. I'm going to run this off-ball play for you, or I'm going to, put you in this spot versus the pick and roll because I know that you'll end up with the shot. And it's really just that ongoing dialogue with him. To me, what he's doing at 41, what he did last year at 40, it's greatness. It's just a different form of greatness.
I think redundancy sometimes, like when people look at teams, it scares them off and they want like total balance, right? Like one guy who does this, one guy who does this, and so on and so forth. But when you have players who are as dynamic, currently as Luka and LeBron, and eventually as Austin as well, just how does that raise your ceiling when you have that kind of creativity and also, I guess, adaptability?
Yeah, I just think it takes a lot to win in the regular season. I think it takes even more to win in the playoffs and win a championship. the thing that starts with is top end talent, and we have that. I mean, those three guys are stars, and I think being able to use them in different ways, them embracing, being off ball some, being screeners sometimes. They're naturally going to want the ball in their hands and play pick and roll, or will want the ball in their hands in the post or the ISO. But them being open to playing in a myriad of ways has been really good for us.
The last three that Luka made, loses the ball, gathers it, he shoots over basically three people,
including his own teammate.
Yep. Right. Is it not surprise you at all that he takes that shot and he makes it? And that
we were
that
just
time-
joking about it because we both said to each other, like, as soon as you shot it, I knew it was going in. He's like, yeah, so did I. And then he's like, I just can't make a normal shot right now. But he's the thing I love about him. He's always hard on himself, and he takes accountability for that. And if he had 30 and 10 tonight and shot 50% from the field and felt like he could have played better, that's just how he's wired.
Came in to start the fourth, no Luka on the floor. You guys are down 7. You have an assist to Vando, you hit 2 threes. What was working for you on that stretch to get the Lakers back in it?
Just executing our sets, and then was able to cash in a couple threes, like you said, and was able to find Vando on one of the drives, and he was able to sneak up underneath the defense. But it started with the defense. We was able to get some stops, got some stops and was able to get back into the game, take the lead.
Outside of your first maybe handful of games since you came back from the sciatica, your numbers, your production looks just like we've seen for 23 years, whatever it's been. JJ said, like, he compares you to Greg Maddux at the end of his career, where he said maybe he doesn't have the same stuff he once had, but he was clearly a winner. What's the kind of the dialogue game to game like with JJ to find the best way to have you approach?
I mean, it's whatever. It's however JJ and the coaching staff want to approach the game, and then it's up to me to figure it out from there. So I'm able to, like I said, I don't have any holes in my game, so I'm able to, however the game sees fit and however the coaching staff want me to approach the game, then I have to figure it out for the betterment of our team. Especially with 2 of our starters out right now with Rui and AR. Gabe has been out for a minute, so I have to do what I have to make winning plays no matter what the circumstances is.
You have a question for you, but how much are you enjoying this game? You're enjoying it any more now than you have in previous 22 years?
Just appreciating it. I think I have more of appreciation on a night-to-night basis when I'm able to suit it up. When you 20, 25, 28 years old, it's like, oh, I know I'm playing next year. I know I'm going to play the next year. I know I'm going to play the following year. I know I got 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't want to say I've never taken being in the NBA for granted, but there's times like, I know I'm going to be here again. So, I just think it's at this point, in my career where I'm 41 years old. So, just appreciating the ability to go out there and make winning plays, help my team win, compete for whatever we're competing for that night. If it's a loose ball here, if it's a possession here, or whatever. So even more of a level of appreciation, that's all.
After the trade for Luka, there was a moment narrative-wise, and I know you heard it because you mentioned it, about how you might not be able to fit together, and you fit around all kinds of different players throughout your career. How important is it for this team? You just talked about it, but for Luka to bend his game around you, for Austin to bend his game, and for you guys to all kind of figure out.
Luka don't need to bend his game. Luka is 20. How old is Luka? 27. 20. He's our 27-year-old franchise for this ball club. He don't need to bend his game. It's up to us to bend our game around him and figure it out. So, we just try to be dynamic, work off of him. We know he's an unbelievable pick and roll player, unbelievable shot maker, commands the defense. He had 4 eyes, sometimes 6 eyes on him. So it's up to us to put ourselves in the right position. So it's not a problem for me. It's not an issue for me to be able to do things that, I don't know. I just don't think people watch basketball.
Yeah. Over these last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Some of us watch golf.
I'm one of them.
Over these last 2 weeks, how much has all of this on-court time with Luka, do you think, just like helped your partnership?
the one thing that I was hoping to get was like a full summer of me being able to train, and then me, Luka, AR to get a full training camp, full preseason. Not saying we're gonna play every game, but we can now lock in and kind of go off what we finished last year. And because of my injury, wasn't able to get that, so put us behind the 8 ball. So, and now when I start making my way back now, AR, it happens, but we're just trying to weather the storm with the guys that we have. Everybody's stepping up in the absence, but it's going to start with me and Luka for sure. Every time we hit the floor, he has the ball in his hands. I'm going to have the ball in my hands. We have to make sure we putting our guys in position offensively, and then defensively. It's always kind of been my voice to make sure I command, my voice, and everybody knows what's going on the floor. So
we've seen this formula in the last several fourth quarters where you guys kind of really crank things up on the defensive end. What is it that goes into that, and how have you guys been able to find that defensive rhythm?
I just think it's for us just an understanding. We're all competitive, and we want to win. And, when we got a game where it's winnable for us, and it's a close one especially, we try to lock in even more. And, even when it's not close, we're still trying to lock in. But that sense of urgency goes through the roof, especially late down the stretch. And, that's kind of been something positive for us. Obviously, we don't want to just depend on that, but we'll take it.
You were in there for some of that fourth quarter stretch too, to start the quarter, and with LeBron orchestrating. What did you see from him there, and how has that kind of shown what he's been like the last couple of games?
Just him being him, what he's been doing his whole career. Putting the team on his back, taking control of the game, and really controlling the game in every aspect, whether that's him scoring for himself or, creating for others. And, just to be able to do what he's doing, at his age and taking on these younger guys, man, it's incredible.
Do you ever marvel at LeBron and Luka? Or are you not able to because you're on the court, you're playing with them?
No, I definitely do. You can see me laughing at them too a lot. And just the stuff they do, I'm just like, it's serious. Like today, Luka hits that shot clock violation in front of their bench, and I'm just looking like, I can't believe it, And then you see LeBron, the way he goes off, stretch after stretch, back to back, points, shooting threes, getting to the basket, free throw line, making passes, still dunking the ball, still catching lobs, still running through the passing lane, at his age. And it's just like, it's crazy, for me, playing against these guys and now playing with these guys. Something I can definitely tell my kids about.
You guys have been trying to build some defensive momentum all season long in the kind of the snapshot effect of Dalton taking the charge, Luka taking the charge. How does that exemplify kind of the defensive team you want to be?
It's everything. That's the if we had to show one prime example to be those guys. I think it was Dalton's first career charge. So, the fact, he's buying into putting and sacrificing his body on the line, for the greater cause, and that's to win the game. And Luka doing the same. We asked a lot of Luka on that offensive end, and obviously, we're demanding a lot on him defensively as well. And he understands and knows it. So to see him, giving that effort, it only, energizes everybody else and helps us bring up our urgency, especially on that defensive end.
Where were you guys able to turn the screws defensively in that fourth quarter? I think you held them to 12 points until the final minute or so.
I think we went through just switching everything. Every action that came, we was getting beat backdoor a lot down the stretch, and I think coach just wanted the ball and guy in front of us. So I think switching 1 through 5 really helped, and I think Brian being the lone man and him and Luka just talking, pointing out, calling out coverages early, and it just really helped, and we were all in sync, and you could tell that we have a pip in our step, closing the game where, we felt confident in what we were doing.
Big night for you around the rim, just kind of whether it was rebounds or blocking shots or affecting shots. Anything that you noticed in the matchup tonight where you wanted to make sure you had your presence there?
Yeah, they were switching a ton, and I had a chance to really get the feel of the ball, where I was taking advantage of mismatches and just getting deep seals around the rim and just bringing out the post hook, just keeping it simple. And hats off to Luka and Bron, just really doing damage to where I could get those open looks and just have a 1v1 stance under the rim.
So you now the lob king and the assist king these days? Is that what we got going on? To start games off?
Hey man, I think that's what it is. Nah, just really moving the ball. I'm starting to see and starting to know where LeBron's at when I catch it in the pocket, and know if he's staying in the corner or if he's cutting to the rim. So it's becoming a norm now where I know where he's at and know how to give him the ball.
On-court chemistry is kind of a tricky thing. It's hard to build and it takes time. Is that play you guys ran, like first play of the game, is that an example of like everybody's starting to figure out exactly, PC was just mentioned, kind of where people are going to be?
It's really trust, us playing our roles the best way we can, and, the great players just really trusting us, If we don't trust it, how we expect them to trust it? So, really just cutting hard and, just moving with intent. And, them seeing how it plays out and, just leaving it up to them on what they see and, to contribute the best way we can.
Luka, before I think the final minute, the Pelicans had 12 points in the fourth quarter, and there were a number of plays. You had the charge, Dalton had a charge, a number of contests at the rim. Have you been encouraged to see the defense, and especially in these clutch situations, the last couple games?
Yeah, definitely. Like I see, they had 17 points in the fourth quarter, which is a great effort by us. But as we talk, when we go down the stretch, we lock in. So. Just got to do it even before, but that was a hell of a win.
The second three in the fourth that you hit, the one you were kind of like falling out of bounds at the end of the shot clock, LeBron just had a big reaction, and there isn't much that he hasn't seen at this point, but did you enjoy that kind of back and forth from somebody like him and having a moment like that?
Yeah, for sure. I told him he set a great screen. If you don't set that screen, I probably was not that open, but, it was a great moment. He started the fourth quarter with 2 threes and then an assist. So he got us back into the game. So I really appreciate him.
You guys have shown some chemistry over the last week or so, particularly when the team needed it. Obviously, AR's recovering. But LeBron made it clear to us, as if he hadn't before, just an hour ago in the post-game locker room, that, like, we're all here to bend our games to fit Luka's. Like, Luka's 26 years old. He is a franchise superstar, and we're here to kind of ride his talents. How have you seen him in particular work his game to fit with yours?
I mean, he's been absolutely amazing. Just helping me out, helping others out. Being super efficient on the field goals. But yeah, there's LeBron. He can do anything. So just really appreciate him. Like I said, when we out there, I think we're playing better with each other game by game, and this is just going to be improving more.
What are some of the areas you're seeing on court where the comfortability has moved up?
What do you mean?
With LeBron, just the chemistry. Yeah. What are some of the particulars in where you feel like the chemistry is jumped here a little?
I mean, just a little bit of everything. I would say, probably understanding better what we want for each other. And me understanding what he wants, him understanding what I want. So probably just a little bit of everything, but just that communication on court. Communication not with words, but thinking about it, what he wants, what I want. So just a little bit of that.
Was there, this was a game that felt like a lot of different players affected it in a bunch of different ways. Was there a moment or two that stands out to you that wasn't maybe a big shot or like a little thing that you thought really mattered tonight?
I'll probably say that DK charge. JJ said in the locker room was his first career charge. But it got everybody hyped, Everybody was standing on the bench. And it's fourth quarter, it's winning time. So I think that moment was really big for us.
Look, on a night like tonight when DA is playing this way, how much better does that make this team?
Oh, way better. He was playing great basketball. Especially in the second half on both sides of the floor. He was big for us. Some shot he could take, he didn't. That mid-range he got, it's like he can't miss. But the way he played was amazing for us, and he helps us a lot.
Tough back-to-back Spurs tomorrow. Is there anything over your career that you do mentally, physically, like in these tight windows, the back-to-backs, to get yourself ready to go?
I'm just trying to get some sleep. I know we got a flight. For me, it's very tough to sleep after any games. So just trying to get to sleep. Did a massage after the game, Normatec, all that stuff. But the most important thing is go sleep as soon as I can.
Did you have a sense for how high LeBron got up for that lob?
No, because I didn't really see it. Herb Jones' hands were like in my face, so I didn't really see it. It was that soccer practice, you saw it.
Yeah, I mean, at 41 years old, though, just the athleticism that he's still able to show. Does he do things that kind of make you marvel?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's just insane. Like, probably me at 41, I'll be limping around. So, no, but all jokes aside, I mean, it's incredible to just watch that every day. So, I didn't see how long, but I saw the windmill. So, it's pretty amazing to see.
Quick one. You're falling out of bounds. Was it Ayton did you? When did it occur to you, or like when did you see him? The throw?
In the last moment.
Last moment.
Yeah.
And did you? You probably can't explain it, but like, is there a certain different amount of force that you have to put on it as you're falling, and like how do you?
Yeah, I tried to lob it a little bit over the defense. I saw him on the post. Somebody was in front of him, so I just tried to lob it a little bit. It's a pretty nice pass, right?